Hey, what's going on? Lionel here. I'm going to try to do three reviews today, and one would be a double review of some more hyped fragrances. Anyway, um, my next fragrance I have for you is something that I reviewed in the past. I'm going to review it again. This is for my man Brad BP Wool and his fragrance community roasting. So just in case you wanted to know what I talked about in that fragrance in the Gear Ness, I'm going to do it again. Brad, by the way, that was pretty funny, man. I know a couple of people got sensitive about it, and I mean, everybody has a different personality. I'm kind of a office space, parks and rec type. I got that kind of dry community type uh, sense of humor. I'm sarcasm is probably my second language. So anyway, funny, Brad. That was pretty good. Anyway, so you already know what I'm talking about. Then it is Geir Ness. I'm back on a better camera now. I think. I don't know. You let me know if this camera is better. I don't know if you can hear my voice better. Um, anyway, Geir Ness. Um, Geir Ness was created by. It is a niche fragrance. Actually, I thought it was a designer frag, but somebody said that he actually made Geir, which is his name. He actually made this before he became a designer. So this would be considered a niche fragrance from that perspective. Very, very reasonable niche fragrance, sort of in the lines of like Tokyo Milk and that. I mean, you can get this Walgreens, eBay. I don't know. I don't know about the eBays. I've heard some problems with that one. I'm not sure. I don't believe it. Um, but anyway, you can get this at Fragrance Net. You can get it at eBay. You can get it at Walgreens. I mean, practically it's everywhere. Anyway, this is Gare Ness. Um, let's get into it. It is a Norwegian. Uh, the guy's from Norway, so it's a Norwegian fragrance. And the guy pretty much says, he's trying to capture the Norway, the capstone markets is kind of a mountains. It's sort of a fresh, arid, out, if you're on top of one of the, ice capped mountains or out, down in the valley, at springtime, this is what this fragrance is supposed to capture. Um, I actually heard a few people who reviewed it say, it does have that type of vibe to it. Anyway, to the notes. The notes are very simple: citruses, floral notes, woodsy notes, green notes, and spices. That's it. No real distinct. No neroli, no uh, labdanum, no saffron. No sandalwood or cedar or pine or anything like that. It just those are the notes. That's the notes I got from Fragrantica, which I usually trust. So what is this? This is sort of a floral, spicy fragrance. Think of a sweeter, less obnoxious Platinum Egoise. Think of a less creamy Chanel Allure with more citrus in it. So think of you took Platinum Egoise, you took Chanel Allure Homme, and you took Allure Homme Sport and poured them in a bottle and shook them up, and you sort of took away the synthetic nature of the Allure Homme Sport, kept everything in Chanel Allure Homme, and took out some of the obnoxious notes in Platinum Egoise, and you would have Guernes. For me, it is a perfect fragrance. It gets 5 out of 5 for me. As it relates to longevity, it gets about 10 hours or more, projects for at least 8 hours, my entire workday. It smells. It gets a bit more spicier as it dries down. So I mean, at first you kind of get some floral, citrusy. what it really smells like is like a vanilla something. I don't know, some type of vanilla and floral, but not that Dior, Dior intense uh, vanilla, not a Pure Havana type of vanilla, but a just kind of a dry vanilla fragrance, almost like a vanilla candle of sorts, with some spicy and some citruses in there. Um, the sillage and projection is great. You get about, I mean, nobody's going to smell you from 8 feet away, but I mean, when you're walking around, you're going to get a nice scent bubble, a nice cloud around you. Um, Again, it's going to project for about 8 hours. Again, for that, so you're going to get a pretty decent bubble, and you're going to get about 8 hours on that. Um, let's see, if you overspray it, it could get a bit loud to your nose. I don't think anybody else, because it's coming off your skin, won't really notice it. It'll be a bit brighter, a bit heavier, but to your nose, right? If you spray up in here a little too much, is going to get a little tingy to your nose of sorts. Um, what else? I give it a 5 out of 5. Scent, I give it a 5 out of 5. Projection, I give it a 5 out of 5. Sillage, I give it a 5 out of 5. Longevity, I give it a 5 out of 5. It is probably the most versatile scent. It is probably, I mean, I know X Cross bought it and he didn't. I don't think he liked it much, but it's probably the safest blind buy I've ever encountered. I don't think anybody will dislike this. It'll be pleasing to just about everybody around you. You will get complimented all the time. There's not been one time I've worn this and got less than 3 compliments. Um, my coworker says, it's one of their favorites. Um, my wife enjoyed it a lot. So, um, good fragrance. Again, very reasonable. Gave you all the categories. Let me see. Let me think if I'm missing anything else. Brad, this is the perfect scent. Frunkinator and Eric Hill and hold up, Joshy. My son is calling me. Huh? I'll get you some. Hold up. He's asking for milk. Um, so you get about Eric Hill. Who else? Somebody else put me on Gear. Frunkinator. Somebody else. I can't remember the third person, but everything you want in a fragrance. If you want a signature scent, if you want something simple, something very nice, very pleasant, compliment getter. If you're looking for that type of signature scent, this will be it. It won't compare to some of the other ones. It just kind of lacks that complex layers that others have. But it is it's sort of like, again, I would compare it to like a blue Oxford shirt or a navy blue Stafford suit, a navy blue Ralph Lauren suit. I mean, it is just a perfect fragrance. You're gonna always look nice. You're gonna always smell nice with it. Um, and it's a 5 out of 5 for me. So definitely buy the safest blind buy of everything I own in my collection. uh, as an overall signature scent, this would be the safest blind buy that I think you can have. So, with that, it is my number one scent out of my top 10, which I may do again today or some other day. Geir Ness. About a 3.4 you won't. I don't think you'll be disappointed. Peace. Thanks, Brad. Later.